A high school day in hell, and this is still the worst day of my life. Started off my day by going to school, and honestly the day was not anything too crazy. After that, I decided I was gonna go to the guy's house that I was talking to at the time. And I still to this day wish I would have stayed home that day, but I didn't. We get there and it's midwinter, so we decide we're gonna get in the hot tub. Well, we get in the hot tub and we honestly were not in there too long before we kind of got bored, and he got a basketball and started shooting it into the basketball hoop that was inside the pool. And I was like, you know what? That really looks like fun. So I got out and started doing the same thing. Except on my second or third shot is when everything went downhill, because I was standing on like the very, very edge of the pool trying to get as close as possible so that I would make it. And then I jumped when I shot and my feet slid out from underneath me. I hit my pelvic bone on the side of the pool and fell into the freezing cold pool because it was winter. I also told myself I was never going to tell this story online, but you know what? Here we are. After falling in the pool, I think my body was in shock. At least that's what the doctors told me, because I get out and I just started laughing because I was so embarrassed and I thought laughing was better than crying. Just decided to get back in the hot tub, and after like 30 seconds of being in there, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm in a lot of pain. Let's just go inside and change back into our regular clothes. We go inside, I go in the bathroom to change, and I notice a tiny little bump, but I didn't think anything of it. I did send a picture to my mom, but I was like, you know what, surely I'm fine. And my mom was like, yeah, you'll be fine, it'll go down. Well, after I changed, I tried to sit down for a second, and immediately the strongest pain shot through my whole entire body, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go home. I get in my car and I start driving home, and I literally cannot even fully sit down on my butt. I'm lifting my butt off my seat and driving home as fast as I can without speeding, of course. And I call my mom again and tell her, Mom, I'm in a lot of pain. This is not okay. And she's like, just try to get home and we can take some medicine. I think you're gonna be okay. Spoiler, I was not okay, because after 5 minutes of driving, I was hysterically bawling my eyes out, and every single time I looked down, it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I did not know what this was. 5 more minutes after that, I was pulled over on the side of the road, hysterically bawling my eyes out, calling my mom, telling her someone needs to call an ambulance for me or something, because I needed to get to the hospital as quickly as possible because I did not know what was going on. At this point, my mom was not home. She was about an hour from me, so she could not get to me fast enough to take me to the hospital. So I got picked up by someone else, and we started driving to the hospital, and the whole time I'm literally hysterically bawling my eyes out, calling my mom, telling her that I thought I was dying. I'm also from a really small town, and I was terrified of the hospital in my town, so I made the person drive me all the way to the nearest big city hospital, which was an hour away, and I just put myself in even more pain. Got to the hospital, they looked at me once and immediately rushed me back, and then after I saw a surgeon and a bunch of other doctors, and they told me that it was a hematoma, and this was one of the worst ones they had ever seen. I ended up being in the hospital for a little over 2 months, and I could not even walk, and then one day it ruptured open and I had to get emergency surgery. So yeah, anyways, that was a high school day in hell, and this is definitely the worst one yet. And